And we are live and recording. Welcome to your advanced Mastermind. I want to start calling it Mastermind. Mastermind group call for February 4, 2021. This is for your Jazz Guitar Accelerator. Welcome everybody if you're here. And if you're not here, well, welcome anyways. All right, I feel silly today, so. Upon request by Brad, actually, this is an awesome news. Brad was always like, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we could see each other? And I said, well, it's a webinar, so you can't really, right? You remember that? And then I found it's just an on-off switch. So from then on, we have people here. We will be able to see each other. So we have Brad. Hey, Brad. Hey, Steve. I'm going to spotlight myself because...
Hey. So you got to wear pants now?
Yeah, well, you don't have to, but it's optional. You can... But Brad, can you try your camera,
Let's
Brad?
take a vote.
Let's take a vote. Can you try your camera, Brad? Is it working?
It should be on.
You
don't see my camera?
No. Steve, can you try it?
I don't see an option here for video. So usually there's a video and a microphone option, and now it's just a microphone option, no video.
Okay, I changed it over Zoom in the settings. Maybe it's not going to work for this round, but at least I tried, which is what my mom said was important.
For the record, I am wearing pants. So there.
Okay. Oh, for the record, I am not. So we're set.
Pajamas, somewhere in between.
It averages out if I'm not and you are. Like it's perfect in betweener. So do you guys have any questions, anything you'd like to work on while we're waiting maybe for Tim to show up? Tim, maybe Carl's going to show up as well. Olivier, getting new members in the phase 2. So anything you want to work on?
I do. You know, when you break down the improv to bird blues, you talk about playing F harmonic minor over the C7 flat 9, like for 2 bars, and then immediately play A flat 7 altered over the next 2 bars or 1 bar. I'd like to see you do that. I'd like to hear it. And then the rest of it, the descending line, cool. The 2-5-1 lick's fine.
Okay.
But just to get an idea, a little bit of the timing and kind of what you gravitate toward, it just sounds a little stilted to me, and I'm probably blowing it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna record it tonight and put it on the website.
Will you?
Yes.
I love that game. I love that game when everybody says, except Steve, of course, except Steve. We all say, "Oh, you're gonna record a video?" Yeah, okay. I love it. It sounds like a Seinfeld episode. Hey, Carl. Hey, Carl. Thanks for joining. I tried to have the camera activated. Seems it's not working. Hey, Thor, as well. I changed the settings over on the Zoom website, but it seems it didn't follow through. I'll have to check it out. Brad wanted us to see if we can see each other. So not this time. Sorry. Do you have any questions, Carl? I know you've just integrated the program. Is there anything that you wanted to cover specifically today?
No, I found a post of yours introducing us all to bird blues.
Yeah,
it was tremendously detailed and involved, and so I'm delighted with that reference material.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, you just missed it. Yeah,
sorry. So are we supposed to be learning how to improvise like Steve, or is he doing that extra?
the running gag in the past 2 weeks has been, well, you can aspire to Steve level.
Okay.
Or you can just do regular human stuff. No, it's not required. It's not a requirement of the program to improvise, although everybody does, right? Because it's fun. the requirement for phase 2, because by the way, we all welcome Carl to the phase 2 right now, is to get your 3 heads. So get freight train in that order: freight train, oleo, and confirmation. Head in, comping, head out. If you want to do a little bit of soloing, I'm always happy to help, but you're not, like, you don't need a rubber stamp to go to the next phase with the improv. It's the comping in the head that really matters.
And then just for my 2 cents, it's funny here in about a week or so, a couple weeks, I will have my 1-year anniversary of starting private lessons with JGL. And what happened was I started with Nathan going once a week last February. And this was really before the pandemic shut everything down. So it's like I started with Nathan, and then the pandemic shut everything down. And I was like, well, this is perfect. So I just hold up with that. And he and I worked a lot on forward motion and target notes and approaching target notes and doing all that stuff, guys. So this is kind of really, I've been like going at that a year. So that's what happened to me when I started with Mark. It was like, hey, you know, okay, I get it. I need the comp, and it's great. And the Cabra stuff, and it's crucial. I'm glad I'm doing this. It's working really well for me. But I was so far along in trying to solo with Nathan, and I was making progress, and I just didn't want to lose the momentum, so I just kept it going. And Mark's sort of been, you know, humoring me, I guess is a way to say it, you know, in my efforts. And every now and then he'll kind of give me a little pointer or an extracurricular activity to help me on a thing.
Even if you're not accountable for it. So I think, Steve, what happened to my instructor's ears, at least from my perspective, it's like you've been working on all these building blocks, but since October, what happened, especially because of this guy, just, you know, forehand and like messing up the rhythm, whatever, like your old scale and guitons, whatever, it all aligned with what it's supposed to sound like, the swing. So if you haven't seen it, go see what Steve put on this morning on oleo. And
nice job, man.
Yeah, you can feel some shame inside. Go like, oh, that's the hope. That's a roll of that video. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
And I wasn't really overtly happy with a lot of stuff.
Oh, it sounds great.
The solo could be much better.
But
I'm working on it.
It's the learning curve. It's like you had all these bits and pieces, and it's like boom, and it's like that without even me trying to coach you in improv. You've been doing it. So here's a story. Steve started with Nathan, then Steve came in September, October with me, and then now Nathan is back. So by the way, you saw Nathan's note. Nathan's back. Call him Coach Nathan now, because the point is, of course, I'm program coordinator, program creator, but Nathan is an added layer of coaching, especially for like posting the group calls and all these sorts of things. I just want to reassure you, the old guys, that you're not losing any contact with me because Nathan is there. He's just that extra, like icing on the cake. If you need anything, or you know, if there's some tabbing I don't feel like doing, read between the lines. He's gonna be the guy like making the coffee and, you know, doing the stupid stuff. On that note, let me get going. So Carl, just before you walked in, Carl and Thor, we were talking about freight train. So that song. We will just do a couple of runs together, not too fast, to get accustomed. Carl, do what you can. Everybody else here is able to probably perform this. And then Brad's question is about improvising. So there is that blog post. And I won't go over all the details of the blog post, but basically Brad is saying the first 4 bars. Right, Brad? I'm assuming that's correct.
Yes, that is correct.
First 4 bars, improv, like how do you use the harmonic minor scale. So right now we'll just do head, and let's do head, comp, and head. So that's 4 chords total. Tempo is 112, so like this, not too fast. And do your best. Comp with what you know, especially Carl, if you're not used to this. And we'll talk about how to improvise, especially over this part here and this part here after. Here we go. head. Good. Okay. So probably not rocket science if you've been practicing this head for a while. Sorry for the video freakout. Woo. That's interesting.
This is awesome.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like
back.
what? Yeah, yeah.
Lord, technology startup guy. Don't steal my idea. This is my technology.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
Musicians, do you want to appear like you're playing Flight of the Bumblebee very fast, but all the time? I can see the promo video right away. So the head is this. What Brad was referring to when we talked about performing some improv on this is this part here is less of an issue because that's 4, right? 4, Roman 4. Then this is 4 minor and then descending chromatically. So you can probably already figure out licks. Even if you play only on your basic arpeggios, you'll go like... Then you're on B flat. And then here it's your 2, 5, and 1, or 3, 6, 2, 5. So it's like 2, 5, 1, and then turnaround of sorts, right? Here, of course, you can play an idea in A flat major because that's the key of the song. But the main thing to keep in mind is we're going to the relative minor, which is F, right? And the F chord has its dominant right before it. So it's a secondary dominant concept, meaning that, of course, you know, A flat scale is the same scale as F minor. And I'm playing F natural minor, not to be confused with F melodic minor, F harmonic minor, etc. But in order to get a sound for the C7 flat 9 flat 13, so yes, it's here. And also, so this sound. The best way to do it, not to make your life too complicated, is to play on F harmonic minor. The notes of F harmonic minor are as follows: F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E natural, F. That lower octave. Two octaves. All right. And the reason for this is you start to analyze the scale the same way as we say, oh, in the key of C major, you play a G13 and that's part of the scale. If you go to C harmonic minor, then the G becomes flat 13, flat 9. That's the theory of it. So pass here for sure have some sort of an E natural because that's a third of the C chord, the C7 chord, and have a D flat to have this flat 9. That's a way to get away with it. So don't try to make it too complicated, but here play an A flat idea, play a F harmonic idea that sits, and then here play A7 altered. So I'm just going to play a few passes of trying to land. Like after I play my idea here, that's super simple. Oh, can you see? Am I sharing my screen or no? I'm not. Sorry about that. So this chord, that chord, the flat 9 is the D flat note, and the E natural is a third of it. So here, play an A flat lick. It can be an A flat major lick. Like bluesy lick, then play some sort of a F harmonic minor idea here and here. And over in here, I'm going to get back to that, but we're going to play A flat altered, just so that in terms of chords, we're... Actually, let me make a copy of this. You'll see how... I'm going to call this Freight Train Simplified. What we will do is just take this guy out altogether. Okay. And take this guy out altogether. Take this guy out altogether. Okay. So that we're left with A flat 7 alt. No chord here. And here we're going to play the C7 flat 9 here. I'm gonna do more modifications to it. So I want you to see this on the screen. See how that's how jazz musicians think. You don't go over all these chords when you improvise. So let me just do a pass once. You ready? Let me do this again. Let me do this again. So basically what I'm just thinking of an A flat scale. Then I'm thinking of an A flat. So think about it. The only thing you have to do to the A flat scale to get F harmonic minor is to make the E, instead of an E flat, it becomes an E natural. So you could shed this, maybe go A flat, and just go, what if I take A flat and now my E is not flat anymore? I have never done this actually. It would be a nice exercise. So you just see, oh, one note changes. So sorry, my camera is going to freak again. Thor, don't steal this technology.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane trying to watch you because, when these things don't match, it's just insane.
And I'm plugged in too. It's my iPhone. Anyways, so I'll figure something out. But the point is this. There's one note difference between A flat major and F harmonic minor. So play A flat major here, play F harmonic minor here, F harmonic minor here. And then we'll talk about this and that next time. So let me crank up the tempo just a tiny bit and do 2 courses and demonstrate what I've been talking about on the first 3 bars. So I'm focusing on the first 3 bars. The rest you can just jam, play A flat blues. Watch out, we're coming back. Sorry, guys. What is running in the background ruining this for us? I don't know what it is. Safari. Damn you, Safari. So was the sound okay, Brad, as far as like sounding, how it sounded?
Yes, it's such a short period of time. I'm trying to take it too far.
Yeah.
You just hit, it's just like 2 beats. You got 2 beats to get in and out and on to the altered, and 2 beats there and go get out of it.
Yeah, what you can do, what I would do if I were you, well, you could do it this way, which is exactly like, 1, 2, good 3, 4, 1, 2, good 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you really do it that way, extended. You could also do it just for rehearsal's sake. You do it 2 bars each. So check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C7. 2, you double the length. So you
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just to rehearse. You're bebopizing. So instead of like crunching all the chords, make space and then shed your scales. And then when they come up fast, well, you're still in those scales. And now let's just talk about that A flat. So quick tip for altered scales. As you know, the way to see it is A flat here would be, the A flat altered is the A melodic minor scale. One way to do this is just to think of a tritone sub, which would be a D7, a D9, with a sharp 11, if you will. But if you think of A melodic minor, think of the same notes as the A minor scale, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, with an F sharp and a G sharp. I know, right? So you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then go A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and start on A flat. So you get something like that. So let me just shred on that. 2 choruses again at 120, and to try and pass all of those. Oh yeah, by the way, Brad, you could use iReal Pro to create yourself a backing track with 2 bars of A flat, right? 2 bars of C9, C7 flat 9, 2 bars of, you just spread it out, put it on, and just rehearse that. Or just sit on one chord for a long time until the sound seeps in. Ready? My camera's gonna go nuts again, so sorry. Right? My God. I love that. It's amazing. I've never had that in group calls before. Okay. Let me just see. Is anybody else here? Tim? No. Okay. So Brad, oh, I want to keep simplifying it. That's right. If you guys are addressing this, the way I see it, my ears and my head is exactly like this. And even to an extent, you could sort of remove that F chord and just still think of that while you're here, although you want to resolve it. So this, that, here. Let me keep shedding that for you. Boom. Au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir. How about that? Isn't that much simpler? So it's just a descending streak of chords. The first one's major, then minor, minor, half step down, whatever, up until you reach that point. So much easier to think about. And it's the same thing. Whether you want to think of the 2-5 or just a 2 or just a 5, it's the same thing. Let me simplify it even further. So here you land on A flat, major, 7. Here, no, thank you. And here, sort of, there you go. How about that? Does that help, Brad?
I think so.
Amazing. But then there's a whole art in learning to play over those changes, and also making sure that you're just not playing just on the 2 or whatever. So there's a whole chords resolution that's happening. But then again, that's just totally a bonus points for improvising on a song.
Yeah.
Any other?
I'll work with it.
Fantastic. Any other questions on that, Brad?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you. Steve, submitted Olio, Freight Train, you're done. So what's next on? Oh, we haven't heard your confirmation yet, so that's what you're working on.
Confirmation, and the G mixo. That thing you pointed out with upstrokes, downstrokes. It's really weird. It appears only at certain points. It's like a double upstroke or a double. It's a sneak sweeping, like for just 2 strokes, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have to work on that. And then confirmation. Yep, confirmation looms. I'm trying it at like 110 right now. I'm intermittent. So. Okay,
very good. I remember I saw something when you're doing your forward motion. So you don't have to do forward motion, by the way, Carl. That's part of the program to submit your D Dorian. So start with your pinky, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, passing tone and 1. And then you do 2 octaves. And so there are 2 different octaves with the exact same fingerings. What Steve is doing, starting with forward motion, so N4 and 1, N4 and 1. So ultimately, Steve, I think when you're starting with your pickup, I think you're starting with a downstroke, but it's and. So and 4 and 1.
That's exactly what I discovered.
Yeah.
It's when I start, and also when I shift strings at higher speeds, I tend to revert to some other weird thing.
Yeah. So, not to be too dogmatic about it, it's just great to be exposed to, you know, this is the proper way to do it. But then if you never do it that way, at least you know, well, I've done it. So,
and again, one of those things of awareness, I notice that if I just catch, am I downstroking on 1 and 5 and 1 and 5 as I'm going up and down this? That's a great little check. And if you check you're off, hey, you skipped one. And then actually I found you can kind of fix it on the fly, right?
Yeah. You can fix it on the fly as you're like, oh no, I'm out of sync, and you'll figure it out. And then, of course, the exception is always you'll break the rule because you're at a point where it always happens, but it's okay. It's just training, right? So let's do, we haven't really warmed up. So let's do something fun for everybody. Let's take the chromatic scale, 3 octaves, 6 string, everybody's favorite. And we'll do something a bit different today. Unless, Thor, we talked earlier. Do you have any questions as you're getting this? Video submissions?
No, not from me. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, very good. Carl, you barely just got started. Do you have any questions on the phase 2 content? Anything?
I'm good. You know, you started, let me just confirm something though. The work you just did on improvising on the altered notes and so forth, that's a little bit beyond me. I haven't even improvised with the A flat, you know, pentatonic scale yet. So maybe let me cover that first, right?
Yeah, for fun in the blog post, start with your A flat major pentatonic versus minor. You don't have to go all crazy with the altered scales, whatever. It's not a requirement. It's just I know Brad was eager to do that because it was a song he was already working on.
I'll get there.
Okay.
And that is a particularly fabulous blog post. I discovered that, 3 years ago, and had been kind of, you know, playing with it since then. So it's a really good one to just go over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. Carl, refresh my memory. Is it the first step in the blog post to go like A flat major pentatonic?
Yes.
It is. You know the trick, right?
No.
Okay, so here's the quick and dirty intro. If you're playing blues and your blues is in A flat, we will have all the tendency to go like, right?
Yep.
So if you take that and you just bring it 3 frets down, so now your index is aligned with F, but your pinky is on A flat, that's now same scale shape. That's now A flat major pentatonic. Blues, major blues scale. You still with me?
Yeah, I think so. So the A flat major starts on the 4th position, the A flat minor or vice versa, A flat. Well,
major here, and then minor.
Okay, I got you. Yep.
So just as a starting point in blues improvisation, when people get into jazz and want to start playing on flat 9 and it's too fast, I go whoa, right? So you get used mentally to switching pentatonic scales from the minor to the major one. If you're taking phase 2 and you can play the heads to freight train and oleo, etc., and all you can do is actually improvise with these 2 scales and alternate at the right time, that it's perfect. It's very okay to do that. We'll have plenty of time to improvise in phase 4. But what I've tried to do with the Bird Blues video and the rhythm change, just oleo video, these blog posts, is just to provide a training that's step by step, that's removing the hurdles of seeing too many chord changes. So if you see like 8 chords and all you're doing is 1 scale, it's really good for the brains and to keep your ideas together, rather than being stuck with this mentality. You hear these beginner like. So it seems like every time the chord changes, like the brain stops and then you got to figure something out. So we avoid doing that by going, you know, the blues, pentatonic, the vocabulary we're already familiar with. And that can really help. So, sorry, that's a Nathan notification, which you'll hear me say often. Shut up, Nathan. Just kidding. Let's warm up with, or do more technical stuff for the good of removing the knots in your fingers, and maybe we'll address parts of confirmation, because now everyone is pretty much up to speed. So Brad and Steve and Thor are at the tail end of the phase 2, and Carl has just started phase 2. So chromatic scales warm up, that's always good, and it's always a good idea to have it. So let's start with this. G, top G, 6 fingers, so 6 notes per string. You could do G, G, then 1, so 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. And then you're going to switch string to keep the chromatics going. So together, 3 and 4, and 1. So that was 1 octave G chromatic down. Let's do this again. 3 and 4, and let's keep going down from here and go. Same pattern, not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we have 2 strings remaining, so G till here, so, and that's our 3 octaves descending. I started descending this time. We always do ascending, so let's, you know, mix it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's put a metronome on and let's do that again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. One more metronome notch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. One more metronome notch and we'll do something else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if you can keep going and go ascending. All right, we'll keep it at that for now. And now let's go back to looking at diagonal scales. Keep the tempo. So we slowly increase it. Share my screen. We're going to play this C major 1 octave, G major as written. We're not stopping, going up, then down, then G major, up, then down. And we're just going to keep the metronome marking for now. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, C major. G. Good. Carl, so that might be a new paradigm for you, because we are looking into scales that are diagonal, which is the prerequisite of the program as well. So when you're playing C major, you're playing 1, 2, 4, and not 1, 3, 4. 1, 2 is really important. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. All right, let's crank up the metronome 1 notch and go back to my share screen. Let's do that again together. 1, 2, exercise 1, 2, 3, 4. Check your strict alternate picking, Steve. I was half joking. Exercise 1 again, same thing, but let's do just a double bar. So we'll do up and down, and then the other one up and down as well, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, C. G. Back to C. G. Good. Let's keep the metronome going. Exercise 2, we're going to go into 2 octave scales. So we're playing the G major and we're sliding in, so we're going 1 and 2 and 3. Really important to use the index slide here and to preserve the fingering on. Sorry, I was not playing the right string, so that's the C here, and then to keep it going. So we'll do as written from C and then into G, then we'll increase the tempo slowly. 1, 2, 3, exercise 2. G major. Good. Let's do this a bit faster. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. All right, let's keep moving. Increase the tempo a tiny bit. Now, this is exactly the same as exercise 1, except we have a flat on each. So your fingering are 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 1, 4, 3. Sorry, not 1, 3, 4. Not 1, 3, 4, not like this. 1, 2, 3. Let's play it as written. Exercise 3 as written. 1, 2, 3, 4. G minor. Good. Let's increase the tempo and do just the ascending descending part. So we'll do C ascending descending, then G ascending descending, then we'll get into 2 octave shapes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, C. G. Let's do that again. C minor. G. Good. All right, we're ready for 2 octave shapes, so let's just play this entire thing as written. Once again, it's fine if you have hiccups and you can't play it all. It's just measuring stick, going really fast, going to warm up and see how your hands are reacting to these new shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Keep the same fingerings. G. Do the same thing again and C. G. Good. And here we are with my favorite part. Let's crank this up to 120. Let's just play exercise 5 as it is written. So it's chromatic, 4 per string. Each time you switch string, you go to a higher fret, right? Let's just do it exactly as written. So there's 1 repeat built in. We'll do the repeat, and then that will be the end of the so-called warm-up. 1 and 2. 1 to 3. Again. Very good. Um, I just want a show of hands for whose nose is bleeding. Everybody okay? Brad, Carl, Steve, Thor?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not used to these slides and these 2-octave scales, so it should take me about 3 minutes to figure out, but I haven't yet.
So that's in the training, Carl. So your Dorian Mixolydian has a slightly different sort of shift, and your major one is the one from here. But at least it's a good introduction. I know we're doing that in group calls, like once in a while we warm up with it. Now I knew you were going to be here, so we were using to work on that. Anybody who was on the call, Steve or Brad?
Just to say, this is the 25 exercises to better phrasing module.
It is.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome.
It is.
It gets that whole presentation of what you do. The videos associated with this are really great.
Yeah, thank you. It's like a 5 or 6 year old thing. So Brad and Thor, you're okay with these so far?
Yeah, I mean, I could have done a lot better, but you know, I guess that's just the form of the day for me.
Okay, it's okay.
Yep. Yes.
Brad, you're good. Okay. Surprise. Well, not so much. Let me share my screen. Exercise 25. 25 is not even written because it's a free like improv exercise in the course that says do whatever. 24 is going to be on the docket as an accountability thing for you. So the cool thing about exercise 24, you can look it up quickly, and then I didn't include fingerings, right? So you can do 1, 3, like now you can finger it the way you want. That makes sense for you. I still think you should do 1, 2, 3 and not 1, 3, 4, but whatever. No, don't. Okay. Sorry. 1 C, D, E flat. So B, then descend. So you're adding one more tone when descending. So you're going from C minor to D Dorian. Well, it's not really D Dorian, but it's the D something melodic minor modes, and they're made so that there's an amount of half steps on the way down so that you start with D here on your second round. And if you can perform this, you go from C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B, and C. So it's an entire, that entire thing is called perpetual motion, because you climb up and you descend a different way so that you land on a different tone. So that's going to be added to you guys that submit your videos. So then here's the perfect excuse for people not submitting. Yeah, I don't want to work on that perpetual motion exercise. Seriously. So that's going to come in phase 3 and 4, these sorts of things. All right, so just by a general vote, I think the best thing to do would be to look at confirmation and do some rounds. I might be wrong, so if you believe I'm wrong, just please raise your hand or come on the microphone, and we won't. But I think you should check it out. Either print it out, take it out, and I will remain here. Or would you guys rather me share my screen? Is that better for you? No answer? All right. So let's do the first 8 bars a couple of times in loops. We haven't done that one all that much, so let's just not go too fast. 92. A 1. Let me put it on the screen. A 1. A 2. A 1, 2. Confirmation. And let's loop. A 1, a 2, just the first 8 bars. 2, 3, 4. crank this up a tiny bit. A 1, a 2, a first 8 bars again. Again, 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. All right. That's 126. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. One last tempo. Now we're getting to 152, so that's going to be the top. And then we'll recap and do the second bunch of 8 bars in the same way, slow it down. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. Repeat. Now. Let's do one round of comping since that's sort of the target tempo. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. Good. Let's move on to the next batch of 4 bars, 8 bars. So starting with bar 9, and there's a pickup here. So here. So we'll start like this. A 1, 2, a 3. Right? So I'm gonna take this off the screen, but remember we have a C as a pickup. And we'll do loops. I won't even count it back in. We'll do loops like think that's a C, and we'll loop back again to the same place. A 1, a 2, pick up. A 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Faster, same place. A 1, a 2, let's do 2 loops. A 1, 2, 3. Loop 1, 2, 3. .126. Then that tempo, one more tempo, then we'll go to the B section. A 1, a 2, watch out, pick up, no, oh, I messed it up, sorry. A 1, a 2, A 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3. One. Last tempo. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So now we're at the target tempo. Let's do a comping for the first full page. So it's twice the same 8 bars. So let's just see how we do even with simple trasses like. Not too complicated. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2 comp now. 'Now onto my favorite part, the B section. Don't forget we have a pickup on the D note here at the top. Whoops. And that D note, let me turn this off or slower. That D note is the same length of pickup as the C note to the second A section. And here we go. A 1. It's going to sound like this, the pickup. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4. Woo! That E flat minor part, right? There's an entire training on that in the portal. I won't spend too much time on it, but it is the bitch of this whole song. Let's do it again. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4. Good job. Let's move on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 108. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Let's do this again. I'm sorry. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Shredding. 2 more tempo. You can do it. This is extremely good training. If you're on the verge, like I think Steve, you're on the verge of submitting this video. What we're doing now is what you should be doing when you're rehearsing it on your own anyways, right? 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Same thing. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Right, last tempo. Oof, I don't think I want to do it. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't want to do it. It's too fast. It's too fast for the first the B section. All right, so what we're gonna do now, just for the sake of completeness, we will play at that tempo, which is 126. We'll do the entire song once, and we will do it with I Will Pro. We'll play the head, comp, and head. All right, and then that's gonna be it for that. I know, Carl, you're probably not familiar with the song, but there's plenty of past group calls ever since December where we went over that in your training. So feel free to get back to this, and while we do it together, you can just comp if that works for you, or just practice some of the chords. Confirmation. Here we go. So 126 it is, and we'll do head, comp, improvise. So improvise with me. Or comp for me. And head out. And I'm gonna keep the camera like this because if I share screen, it's gonna slow down and pick up and do crazy things. All right, here we go. Watch out! Comp. B section. Let's stick to the guide tones, see if it works. right tones. Head out. A 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. How is this for everybody? Whose nose is not bleeding?
So the thing that throws me about this song, and this is the first time I've heard it, is the B flat. That is just an unusual sound. So I got to spend some time with that.
Agreed.
B flat 7.
Gets me every time, especially when I'm improvising. It's like it goes to 4. It actually does, but it's just, it's not that, I don't know. I would hear it better if it was a B flat major, but it's not. Like that's the way Parker plays it. So there's a bluesiness to it that's sort of hard to overcome. But the good news is you don't need to improvise amazing solos on that. Really just comping and playing the head. The phrasing is sort of sax oriented. So yeah. Thanks, Carl. Thor and Steve and Brad. Anything to add? Wow, we have a quiet bunch.
Just that the B section is still, it's a bear on that bar 21.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. And even bar 22 there where the da-da, da-da, that whole section right there is a bear.
It's the coolest one, though.
It is a really cool section, that's for sure.
And think when you submit, and that's a note for Carl as well, the songs do not have target tempos. The scales do, because it's pretty measurable, but the song, so long as they're phrased properly. So if you're phrasing it nice and your B section starts to sit at 120, so be it. There's no rush, there's no need to play this pedal to the metal at all.
You had suggested to me go find, the original Parker version and listen to, his phrasing. And I slow it way down. I go on YouTube and you find the version they say is the one from the Omnibook. And I'll swear, it is not note for note. This is not a note for note transcription he did. I could swear it starts with a C. Instead of going, he goes,
He does.
it makes me nuts.
It does. It also, there's long notes, these notes that are on upbeats.
Yes.
They're like not that short, but then one time they write, it's Ebersold, friggin' Jamie. One time it's short, another time it's not short, but he plays it the same way twice. So it's like, it's not accurate, but I played what I put in the tabs. I just verbatim grabbed the Omnibook as to not add my bias to it. But yeah, often that's why
listening to the original is not a bad thing. I just go, well, I'm gonna let that part go, and I'm not gonna start on this C. That's okay, but you can still get the inflections and all that he's, that feel.
And you can do your Frankenstein if there's parts of it you like. So for years I used to not play that part with the C mark, or just like start improvising, then look at my friends at the jam, E flat. I just improvise, I just cheated out because there's no way I'm gonna play this at like 180 on the head out when the drummer's drunk and he's speeding up. Like I'm not. So just like we sort of make our way around it. And I've also, was it with you guys? Probably it was Olio. There's the Miles Olio, but there's also the Bill Evans Olio and Pat Martino's Olio, I think. And not everybody does the. Some people. It's not the same way. So people take songs and they sort of make them their own. So feel free to make it the way it's comfortable, the way it sounds good for you, Steve. If you want to start with the C, go for it.
No, no, I'll let that C go. No worries.
Okay, good. And on that note, that will be it. No challenge today. Sorry. Sometimes I end with a challenge. I'm a bit. I've been going at it pretty hard these days. Now, no complaints, but I'm long hours, and you hear my voice. An hour of like yelling the counts and the microphone. It's hard, but that's good. It's amazing. Like,
Like that electric guitar, I don't know.
what do you mean?
You've got your shred guitar there.
Oh, you want the shred? Yeah, no, I don't. I was a really good power chords player. Like I was like a gent. Like
Yeah, drop D.
yeah, if it. But I was a good riffer for sure. So a little bit of shredder too, but I
Play
had
some
my
Ty Tabor stuff, whatever.
I had my share of that. But what I do when I feel silly with my wife, I put Spotify on, I grab that guitar, bring it downstairs, and I play like Collective Soul and Metallica and whatever. So, but oh yeah, it's just um, I felt that as a young adult, there was way less to learn, and I realized that it's not any lesser music. It's just you, if you grab an album like Alien Ant Farm and they redid the Michael Jackson song, you can listen to it like 3 times, right? And you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Well, if you listen to Wes Montgomery, you can listen to it like 50 times or 100 times, and there's still stuff going on. So that's been my perspective. So
That's why we're all here.
yeah, because like, oh, there's more stuff. It's not any better. It's just it's a different thing. And by the way, Nathan, our friend Nathan, started to take flamenco lessons from an actual flamenco guy, and it's just not because he's going to become a flamenco artist, but there's such that universe that it unfolds with new perspectives on making noise, right? That's what it is. So
Yeah, Nathan had me like beating out rhythms as part of my daily stuff, right? Bembe rhythm, and slapping your,
oh yeah, that's
just to get the rhythm, just to put that in your daily thing. So yeah, he's got a good kind of varied, like, take it all in. And yeah.
I saw Nathan last time I saw him live. He was playing his 8 string, and he's playing solo with all these pedals. When he played Blue and Green by Miles Davis, he still did the standards whenever, but he's like got this thing. He's into composing for video game music, video game like music for video games, right?
Yeah.
Very broad thing. Uh, so yeah, I had that thing. I sort of abandoned ship. I played in rock bands when I was still like a jazz musician, but I just sort of abandoned the learning of that. I sort of stopped. So I'm not going to make a fool of myself and play anything now.
My millennial son is into gaming music, and if you start listening to soundtracks and gaming music, there's a really lot of great composition going on and great stuff. John Batiste plays a version of Green Hill Zone on the piano.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like an old game. Oh, it's just
Sonic.
beautiful, awesome.
Yeah,
Green Hill
Sonic.
Zone, look for that. Yeah, Sonic. Yeah.
There was a movie with Jim Carrey recently. I watched that last week actually. But video game music, my wife too. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but my wife is a composer. So she's a pianist. So she's got a B Muse. It's in classical, but she has a slash composition major. So she's recorded and composed a lot of music for theater, for plays, and
Awesome.
soundscape. No, I'm not talking about musicals. I'm really talking about plays, and that's where we met. Actually, I was playing that guitar. I'm like, who's the chick? And of course she ignored me because I went with my dad jokes and all stuff. Then we spoke. Actually, that's the story. It's like, oh no, not this guy again. Shit. And 2 years later, we hung out, and she realized anyways, I was
You
maybe
did
better.
persist.
Yeah, I didn't even persist. I just like. But anyways, she wrote a lot of music. We went to Toronto actually. I spent some time with Nathan because she wrote for the French Toronto Theater, which apparently exists, and it was fun. They did Molière, Don Juan, but the Molière version, and she rewrote soundscapes and whatever. She's the video game slash film scoring slash theater. It's a very wide environment, and there's so much going on. Like she's yeah more into that. I can't. I get really stressed with composition because it doesn't vary enough. Like for me, it's like it has to like jazz is really appealing to all my personality. It changes all the time, and it's it's never the same. But anyways, on that spiritual note, Thor, did you have anything to add? I saw you unmuted your mic.
No, I was just because you were talking about video game music. I was a colleague of mine actually listens to this quite a lot, and this has gotten into my sort of daily routine when I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
I have soundtrack from video games. I don't play video games a lot. Oh, well, actually, not at all. But it's just upbeat music that sort of keeps you going.
Yeah, there's a lot of great writing and the way I think the way they learn to have these soundscapes where the music changes as the characters evolve through scenes. It's fantastic. It's technology at its best. But yeah, I got my wife a Sega Genesis like reissue, like the small ones, for Christmas. That's as far as my video game playing goes. I'm too old for that stuff. All right, guys, thank you. I'll see you next time, and I'll try to have the camera thing unlocked by then.
No. This is way more fun.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Catch you guys later. Cheers.